turned up a little bit here, like that. All right, that looks pretty good. Maybe you want to come back down a little bit right there. Anyway, help me out here today. I'm out on the porch in Helen. The weather is insane, so I figured it would make sense to do a solo cast with you here. Let's make sure we're good. You go check out the website or check out the channel, make sure we're live. Yep, we're live. Good. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I had some time, so let's rock. Yep, let's check the audio here. It seems a little quiet. Let me jack up the sound here a little bit. Let's go here. Let's try that. Let me know how this audio sounds. Check, 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 check 1, 2. Try that. Let me know how this audio sounds. It's still a little light. Let me go up a little bit more. I don't want to blow it out. That's plus 12. Let me move this thing up here a little bit. Forgot to bring the lav down here. So let's try this. So I'm at plus 11. Let me know. Okay. Let me know if it's blowing out or if there's any problems or anything. So anyway, I'm up here for the week. Rag Company boys are here. They ran down to see, let me turn the sound off. They ran down to see Coach Kemi and G-Technic, which are in North Atlanta. So they went down there, and me, Gabe, and Josh Brodel stayed here. So we went mountain biking this morning. We went and got them. I'm going to stay on track. I'm going to Molly's tonight. I'm going to stay on track. And I fasted on my way up here. Gosh, I hate this thing. It looks such a like a doofus YouTuber when the thing's hanging off your shirt. Anyway, it'll work for us. What was I saying? Oh, but we got cinnamon rolls. We got like the last 2 dozen cinnamon rolls, so the guys will have that. They've got a funnel cake, not for me though. I'm not eating it, so I'm gonna stay the course. So help me out in the comments here. Give me a little encouragement here. I need to stay on track. I saw 209.8 or something like that. Yeah, 209.8 or 0.6 the other day after a dual 48-hour fast. So I did a 48, had dinner, did a 48. In the midst of that 48, maybe an hour 40, I saw 209. So it's, obviously some water weight stuff. But I'm like probably 213, 214 right now. So I'm gonna get my frickin' pursuit done. I'm hoping to do lots of biking. I took Josh and Gabe out today, so we went slow. Went like 5.5 miles, 6 miles, something like that. So tomorrow morning I'll probably get up early. We stayed up really late, so tomorrow morning I want to get up early, and I'm going to ride right out the front door and go do the Olympic course here and try to get, burn 1,000 calories or so. And I may go, we'll see if time permits, but I may go jump on the rogue setup out here and do a little bit of working out. But I'm a little light on my calorie burn here today, but I'm going to try to stay the course. I better remind myself that I don't want to feel sick. I don't want to feel that pain and suffering of eating like crap. And there's so much delicious food here in Helen that I want to try to avoid that. But anyway, I came up yesterday from Orlando, so I flew out of MCO, and then I had a car service bring me up. And then the guys got here at like 11 o'clock last night. I went in and did a quick I wanted to just watch a movie, but I had to do a calibration on the home theater. I was messing with the TV upstairs, but everything's pretty good shape here. The house is sold. It's under contract. It should be leaving my possession here in November 5th or 6th, something like that. We should close. So I found that one of the bikes was broken, so I broke the seat bolt. So I ordered some of those. I did get a firmware update for the Dynaudio subwoofer upstairs, and then I'll probably on Monday or Tuesday I'll probably go through the garage and just go through inventory and everything, make sure it's all dialed. You know, I'm one of those people, I prefer when I finish with something and I give it to the next person, I tend to go a little too far and try to make it perfect. And I don't know, it makes me feel good, and it gives you a solid reputation in the world, and it's just the right frickin' thing to do. I bought the house, and I probably end up losing some money. It's hard to tell because remember I'm selling a lot of products, so I certainly made a profit net on having this place. Depending on how you look at what my time was worth, and you know, should I have been doing something else with my time? But I think this is very consistent. This made a lot of sense to have this house and to share the pursuit of making it excellent. And I felt a little weird when I got here. Felt like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like a overwhelming sense of gratitude combined with, am I doing the right thing? Combined with, I am doing the right thing. You know, the weight of this place, it's just a lot. And if I had infinite resources, I would have this place, I would have somebody take care of it, and I would not let anybody else touch it, ever. You know, the little things that drive me crazy are the little things that, like, you know, people just, I don't know, they, like, again, like somebody broke the seat bolt on the, on one of the Santa Cruz, because you'd have to like gorilla tighten it. You know, when you adjust the seat, everybody should know this, it's like 5 Newton meters. It's like a little wrist twist, and they broke the bolt in half. So that means they're torquing the crap out of it. You know, watch some videos, do the right thing, order a new bolt. I just ordered one, I'll have it here tomorrow. Instead, they don't tell anybody and just put it in the room and pretend like nothing happened, and then I never know who did it. And so stuff like that is what makes me feel good about moving on. So anyway, Juan says, Matt, how's the weather? It is like 70 degrees, virtually no humidity, just magical. It was like high 50s this morning when we went out for a mountain bike ride. We went to Yona Preserve, which is awesome. Tomorrow I'll go ride the Old Olympics course in Unicoi Park. But it's beautiful. I can't wait to go for a hike. So anyway, the guys are here today. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They leave early Monday morning, and I'm staying here by myself for my last little hurrah. I'm sure I'll come back because the couple, the family that bought it, they are OGers. And so I'll probably, you know, consult and come up and help. So I'm sure Mike and I will be back up here, you know, at some point. So I feel good about it. You know, part of the main reason for me owning this house outside of the business concept was to be able to drive the mountain roads, and I haven't been able to do that. So it creates a lot of weight for me. I think I'm almost better off just dropping all the weight, physically weight. We were just talking about dropping off the weight, financial weight, dropping off and really making Obsessed Garage operationally excellent, financially efficient, making it extremely profitable. Adding the new design studio is going to be a big thing, and so, you know, selling this place is the right thing. So to answer I Can Review It's question, you know, did you manage to make money on Helen? Well, I'm going to have to pay tax on it because I did depreciate some stuff. So I'm selling it for about 950 grand more than what I paid for it. But I certainly spent more than that on it in time and just dollars, you know, spent on it. But then again, it generated some revenue, generated some income. And so I'm going to net, you know, after I pay the mortgage, you know, I'll net probably, I don't know, $1 million in cash to my account, which is insane to say. because this will be the first, if you take the cash out of the business, and I've had some growth in my investments, but from when I left Merrill Lynch, or left Raymond James, or when it left me, I want to say, I think that maybe my math is off. I'd have to add it up because I've contributed 401k and stuff, but I've had an extreme net worth change, for the good in the last, since 2018. So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I'm 7 years in, and so 7 years, my net worth is probably, I don't know, 10x, 20. Depends on what you value a garage. But my cash and investments haven't changed all that. They maybe doubled. And so this will be really nice to have that cushion, that cash cushion, that was kind of parked in this house. When we talked about, maybe we'll talk about this a little bit more here today. We'll talk about my cars. I just put an Inside the Hex video up talking about cars and asking for some advice. So I'm Bearded Ginger says, I'm really very impressed with your progress with fitness. I think it could go better, it could go faster, but I am 40, almost 46 years old, and so the chase, the pursuit, I realized this when I ran a 2-mile time trial. Now I think I could probably run faster if this is my excuse, at least what I'm telling myself, that if I was fresh. I was at like 4 days running and just traveled to Pittsburgh and was really, did lots of, squats and stuff. But I ran a 650 and then a 705, 2-mile, 650 first mile and then 705. But that 705, I was like giving it all I had. And so I just don't have the spring in my legs. And so in order to get faster in running, I would need to lose considerably more weight. And so I'm hoping to do that. But I just did an in-body scan, which isn't as good as a DEXA scan, but I did an in-body. I'm 15.8% body fat. My Withing scale says I'm 24 point something, 25% body fat, which is, there's no way. So if I did get down to 199, and I'm assuming it's not a lot of muscle, I could be in the, in the 12%, whatever that is. I don't know. We could do the math on if I lost, 12 more pounds, 15 more pounds. So Perry asks, still doing Gary Brecka. So this is much like with detailing or pretty much anything in my life. I like to go and acquire knowledge, and I find certain places that resonate with me, some that resonate, some that don't, and I kind of gather that information. I did that with detailing, traveled all over the country, and somebody on this channel said I needed to get training. I said, well, there's no one left to train me. I've been trained by everybody, so I guess I'm a lost cause on polishing. But I take the best of breed and figure out what works for me. And I posted on the Matt Moorman on my personal Facebook profile. I posted the update, because I hit the 210 number. I officially am lighter, probably fitter, depending on what your measurement of fitter is, than my low point after in the middle of the LZ project. In January of 2024, I hit the 210 number for like an hour after a 72-hour fast. And so I hit that again, and I saw 209 for the first time since God knows when, since I was probably 30, 34, something like that. So in a decade. When I first went crazy, before they put me on Prozac, I had gotten down to like 200 pounds or something like that because I couldn't eat. But that milestone I shared, and a lot of people were telling me, it's too complicated. And what I've come to the realization is that, and this is with everything, that I think for everybody, there's a status quo, there's a norm, there's an accepted pathway, and then there is the road less traveled. And that road less traveled, to me, it just makes a lot more sense. And so what I've been looking for, and the reason I've had some success this time around, has been because I figured out what doesn't require, and we've talked about this on the podcast a lot, what doesn't require discipline, what just comes natural. And that natural is hard to figure out. It's hard to figure out what works. So the natural, the normal discipline sort of conventional wisdom way to do this would be you eat a balanced diet, you eat in moderation. You obviously can't be perfect forever, so you do 80-20, 80% to the good. You just, you take it in stride and you do moderation, but that doesn't work for me. That requires a lot of discipline, and I'm horrible at discipline. I just don't do well with things that aren't innate. And so my crazy plan that I've come up with supplementation and all this stuff, and eating carnivore and doing stupid stuff, and overworking out and all, it just kind of comes natural. So when I went too far in running and ran too much, I've recognized that part of the pursuit, like buying this house and doing all this stuff and going too far, is how you figure out what road I'm supposed to travel. And so when things seem complex to the status quo or to normal people, oftentimes that just is more natural for me, if that makes sense. Let's see, Neil White says, if you really want inspiration to stay in shape, head over to Walmart and people watch. That's a great motivator. That's a good point. I feel so much more, I understand people a lot more than I did in my younger days. If I understand how hard it is, it's so easy when you like, now it seems so easy, but I understand. I still, struggle with there's a freaking funnel cake that Gabe bought me that's sitting in the gosh darn kitchen that I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to freaking eat it, but man, it'd be so good going down. Peter Russ says, do you like your made in? So he's talking about the made in pots and pans. Or is there a better brand of cookware that is OG spec? So made in is not good. It's thin, it's light, it didn't hold up, it's not my preference. I wouldn't buy it again, so. Here you go, here's my, should I eat it? What do you think? Get this thing out. Let me just smell it.
I gotta go.
Oh man. So there is a funnel cake spot here in Helen. Oh man. No one's touched it. I don't understand that. So Josh and Gabe, they don't have problems like I do, and they ordered this, and they just, no one, they don't care. Like Josh carried it all the way here. I'm like, how are you not eating this? I struggle with, gosh, this thing is messing me up. I got powdered sugar everywhere. I'm gonna throw this thing. That's what I should do. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's do the right thing here, people. Let's do this together. Ready? I'm gonna frisbee it. Did the right thing. Sorry, Gabe, that was your $10. I'll give you 10. I'll buy your dinner tonight. All right, that felt good. Very different than the old days when I'm eating zebra cakes on the podcast. It's gone. You see it? It's gone. It smells good here, though. Oh, I can smell it on my hands. So anyway, yeah, made in the pots and pans that I like a combination of carbon steel from Debuyer. It's Debuyer. And then shoot me an email, and I'll send you the spreadsheet that has all the different models that I prefer and what combination I ended up with. And then Demeyer, which is a German, I think it's a German brand. It's Demeyer Atlantis. The made-in stuff is not, it's really not good at all. So the one made-in product that I do like a lot is the Burger Smasher. They have a nice smash burger smasher. Hey Matt, with traceless being added to the process, are you still using invisible glass and vision? It's funny, we just talked about this yesterday in the product meeting, and I think it's tricky because traceless isn't good with any kind of oils, like especially like on your cell phone when you have like hand oils and stuff like that. I think the mic's jacked up. Let's see here. Let me know, people. Sorry. I got it at plus 11, so I can't add any more. Let's go to plus 12. Oh, here we go. How about that? Check, check, check. That ought to help everybody out. Just make sure, just let me know I just don't want it to blow up. There's another setting there. Okay, cool. What was I talking about? Traceless. So traceless doesn't do great with oils. But we have invisible glass, traceless, and vision. I think we keep invisible glass. We're gonna, I think, drop vision. Because vision's problematic because when it sits in a bottle, it kind of eats through it over time. And then when you need it, it's kind of eaten through everything because it's ammonia-based. But so traceless isn't a full replacement. We also dropped all surface cleaner from Koch. I just have never used it. It's a great product, but I'm using traceless all the darn time. So that's another thing. We're going through the product line. It's gotten too big and too confusing. So, okay, cool. Thanks, Alberto. I was turning up the wrong volume. I had to push the button twice. Let's see. Saw the recent Hex video. I think you should force yourself to one car, and you're not allowed another until you can drive. This is from Matrix. I've been thinking about that too. Like, should I just go down to? I don't think I could do one, but should I go down to 2 or 3 from 6? Yeah, man, I don't know. I've gotten some great feedback, so thanks to you guys who've sent me emails telling me, that you watched. This is inside the Hex video, where I asked for some advice, and so some people sent me some really good things to think about, like the M3. I've asked myself a lot, if I sell the M3, would I regret it and would I want to get another one? And I don't think I would pursue another one. Like, I don't have this clamoring, even though I can't drive, I don't have this like clamoring to like, oh, I want to go drive my M3. No, I want to go drive my GT4. I want to go drive my GT3. I think I'd rather have a manual Spider. I would long to drive that. I get excited to drive my Bronco, believe it or not. I would be excited to drive a heavily modified Raptor, like a Raptor R. So I think I might be answering my own question, but the M3 is kind of the mascot, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to keep thinking through it. Luckily, I don't have to do anything rash. I'm going to sell this house. I'll be in a good position financially, better than I've probably ever been. And I don't know. One guy brought up a great point. I should buy, it was a really fun experience to go through the 997 RS and to kind of restore it. So, anyway, I'm thinking about it. Let's see. Sunny says, if I was to hypothetically wipe down my countertop with drying aid versus traceless, what would I expect to happen? So I don't like putting any kind of stuff on my countertops, so I wouldn't want to use drying aid. I figured you'd get a film on it over time or kind of a sliminess. So I'd want to use traceless and just keep it devoid of anything or keep it super clean. Let's see. Hey, Matt, I saw your latest wash on the GT3 RS. How do you get your tires so dialed, the tires? It doesn't look like you use anything or any tire dressing. The tires look clean and perfect sheen in my mind. So thanks, George. I talk about this a lot in tires. So it's a lot in the prep, the initial prep. So denib, right? Our new denibbing package is live. It's really freaking expensive for those little X-Acto thingies, or they're electronics exact flush cutters. I think they're like, one of them's like $45 or something like that. But they're, it's, you buy it once and you got it forever. But we have them in stock. We should still have them in stock. They're on the site. Buy the kit. It's a 60 degree and a 30 degree. It's the perfect combo, I'm telling you. People have been telling me about these for years, and I've been using them for a long time, but we finally got it, on the site, dialed. Let me just show it to you here. Let me pull it up. I can turn this and put it on camera. Go to new products. New products on the top left. It's $89. I'm not marking it up, that's just the normal price. So there you go. A denib kit on the site. Go get them. Okay, let's see here. Let me pull up YouTube pop-out chat again. So anyway, back to tires. So denib them. Stoner's Terminator. Get them totally clean with Terminator. You're going to ruin a microfiber towel, but get a rip and rag, roll, and you'll use 2 or 3 of them. You clean the tire, clean like the lip protector, get it, get all the soap and get all the markings and all that totally off the tire. And then, make sure it's dry, wipe it clean. Don't put anything else on it, and then heavily dress it with OG tire dressing. There's some silicon dioxide in the OG tire dressing, but heavily dress it, let it sit overnight, then wipe it somewhat satin. It'll still be a little bit too shiny for me. And then the first wash, you'll use non-diluted brake buster in a spray bottle, and you'll clean it with a brush, and then you'll add another layer, let that sit for an hour or so, and then wipe it flat. And then every other cleaning, I clean them, and it stays like that forever. Sun, if you're daily driving, sun, kind of beats up most tire dressings, so you'd have to do it, more often. But because my cars don't sit in the sun, so that's an important distinction. But that's all I do, and I just maintain it. And then occasionally, when I have buildup, I'll use Shine Supply Wise Guy, deeper clean it, Stoner's Terminator it again, and then do that same process again. Goop it on there, let it sit. Do the first wash with some brake buster, and then again maintain it with brake buster and the Detail Factory brush. Let's see. Oh, I missed one. Little House says, when's the next car or garage giveaway? Finally bought a house, need to get it fixed up. God willing, I'm not doing giveaways anymore. If we can really improve our process, our operational efficiency, if we can get to free shipping with East Coast, West Coast distribution, if we can still do that and maintain profitability or increase profitability, continue to grow a garage design firm, if design build works, I don't want to do any more giveaways. It's too douchey. It's just not, and it's very hard to get it to work out, especially the garage giveaway. Let's see. Guy B32 says, pros and cons with Middleton. Thinking about moving there as we visit often. The pros, for me, obviously are my kids in school, right? The proximity of that. There's just so much going on with them, each playing multiple sports. Michelle coaching there and running the club, volleyball club. And so if we were trying to, and I can't drive, so I can't help, And so having to find people to drive the kids around, and Michelle having to, to burn the candle at both ends, just isn't practical. But it works because I can drive them to the school, which is, 100 yards away. I can help out a little bit there. And so it takes that pressure off. It's also another pro is, and it's going to be an extreme pro when all the, like Four Rivers just opened, Middleton 24 is going to open, a sushi restaurant's going to open. They're not like the best ideal restaurants of all time. A grocery store, gas station, all this stuff is coming. And so there's going to be a lot of awesome stuff happening. I'm going to be doing a lot of awesome OG stuff. Me and Brian Russo, who run special events for the villages, are going to make a great, at least quarterly, if not monthly, car culture event around Middleton. The other pro for me is I can jump on my bike or go run. There's all kinds of, there's all kinds of multimodal paths everywhere. It's awesome. The cons are you can't build a really nice house, depending on what your definition of a really nice house is. I've got probably the best lot in Middleton, so it's kind of hard to get a great lot. There is lower, because the houses aren't very expensive, there is sort of a bit of a class difference. So there's quite a bit of nonsense that goes on behind the scenes. I don't really experience it because of where we're at, but if you end up with the wrong neighbors, that's problematic. I mean, the biggest lot you can get is a quarter acre. It's like 0.28 acres, something like that. So I think some of the ones on the tree line are like close to 0.4 or something, but tiny lots. Those are the disadvantage. It's cheap though to live. The houses are inexpensive. Electric's inexpensive. Gas is inexpensive. It does have natural gas, but modern infrastructure. The water is good. The power grid is good. Power hasn't gone out for us one time yet. It's very stable. So the infrastructure is really nice, and I just like to see all the kids running around everywhere. So it's great. It's just you can't build a really nice house, and so you have to sort of make do with what they provide or what the options are. Let's see. I saw that sweet S-Works road bike in the garage. Do you road cycle in Florida? It's a gravel bike. It's a S-Works Crux Specialized, and I haven't ridden that very much. I prefer it to be off-road. And so I'm not road riding anymore. I have road ridden for several years on two different instances. So like two-year stints in my late 20s, early 30s, or maybe mid 30s. But the road riding, it's just you have to stay on the bike too long. So 7 Henry says, did the Helen house just not work financially? I talked about that a little bit. No, it's a slight loss for me, but that's net, right? So I'm applying a sort of an amortization of the assets that are held in the house, which is a significant, say $3,000 a month, so $35,000 a year. There is there's a mortgage on the house, and so I'm factoring that into the cash flow, and so it costs me about $250K a year to carry the house, and I'm generating about $200,000 a year in income on the house, but that $50,000 delta is probably going toward principal of the mortgage debt. If I owned it, it would probably make somewhere around a 4 to 5% return. I spent too much money on it to be a sound investment, but you have to remember I'm generating a lot from the content that I'm going to be able to create. I'm sure that this garage lives everywhere. I'm developing Obsessed Home Theater. We develop products and the interest of products. That's kind of hard to quantify. Did this push people over the top? I did throw the funnel cake out, so I did the right thing there. I need Gabe says Matt's a beast on the mountain bike. Gabe, you got to come. You got to go ride. I'm not a beast on the mountain bike compared to a cyclist, but compared to like average Joe, I'm not good at bike handling, but I can grind. But we only ride 5 miles, so we need to ride more. Let's see. Michael Choi says, how do you find balance between chasing your passions, time with the kids, or just Michelle? We're a divide and conquer family, right? So we're like a sine wave, all of us. We're operating on different frequencies, but that frequency, has points where we meet on the x-axis, and we're meeting on the x-axis every cycle, and it happens often, and so actually we're meeting on the x-axis twice. And so sometimes we all line up at the same time. Sometimes two of us line up, three of us line up. Sometimes, we're a little off as far as time-wise. But we're all kind of independent humans that there's not a lot of codependence for any of us. Ryan has his thing and his friends. Kate has her thing, her friends. Michelle has her thing, but we all go to Ryan's football game, right? We all love watching Ryan play football, or I love going out and throwing the football with him. Kate plays volleyball. Michelle coaches volleyball. I played volleyball, so we go to Kate's games. We come together there. I'll go to practice and hit some balls, or Kate and I will, pepper in the front yard. That's pretty rare, but because Kate's usually either I'm banged up or she's banged up because she's playing a lot. Michelle coaching volleyball, I'll go and hit some balls at her high school team or go to her game. They tend to do the least with me, which is fine. I don't care. I don't need them to come to Obsessed Garage events and stuff like that. But we all have uncommon interests or uncommon paths with somewhat common interests. So we never have to strike balance. We just get to pursue. We're all pretty obsessed with what we do. We all do too much of it according to the norm or what the status quo or what would be conventional. But it works great. We're not codependent. And we spend an insane amount of time together because of Middleton. Middleton's helped that a lot. I go to HQ probably an average of 2 days a week. But I'm there all the time. They're there all the time. They're getting to see me do my thing. I'm getting to see them do their thing. And so I would suggest, don't overthink it. And you don't have to do everything together. I can't tell you the last time Michelle went to some car thing with me. I don't want her to. She doesn't require me to go to things of hers. I only go if I want to. And we don't get all bent out of shape about that. And it's not to say that couples that do everything together is wrong. It's just our system works well for us. So it creates lots of leverage, lots of time capacity for us because we don't have to do everything together. So it creates lots of family leverage. So I would encourage you, figure out how you can get family leverage, where you can all do things and all pursue and all do great. Hope that answers it. Hey man, check on Jim Green boots when you get a spare second. I have a pair of 719s coming. What's that? Jim Green boots. Jim Green boots. Jim Green Footwear USA. Yeah, I tried this path, but I did it with something else, JK or something. I'm not good with the whole break-in thing. Which boots did I do? JK boots. Yeah, I bought a really fancy set of, JK, and I gave them away. That's just they're not for me. I wanted to go down that path, but I tried it. I'm not real man enough, but I'm sure they're probably pretty good. Let's see, let me go back to pop out here. I like the idea of it. Punt it, throw it away. Black bears are attracted to funnel cakes. Yeah, the black bears will get it. Any tips for storing 2 Knipex tools in a bag for road trips? I don't want sharp tips damaging the bag interior. I think you could probably find a position where they're opened or closed and then maybe zip tie it, where it wouldn't be a problem. Philip says, Matt, what do you think of health trackers like the Aura Ring? I want to feel healthier, but I don't know where to start. I got one on, and because I haven't worn a wedding ring in a long time, it's kind of become, I size it for my wedding ring rather than on the index finger, and I get great results. It's helped me a lot because, my phone, I'm streaming from my phone. I was going to show you the results of it, but I set a daily active calorie target of 1,000. I've talked about this quite a bit on the podcast, but an active target of 1,000, and then it'll bump it up to 1,250. So I'm looking to burn, some active calories, either running, rucking, riding, or working out, and some combination of all the above. And then it helps me with knowing where I'm at, readiness and all that kind of stuff, sleep and all that, those kind of things. So I like the data. I didn't like the Whoop strap. It just felt uncomfortable to sleep. And then, I'm doing a lot of stuff where I have wrist wraps on with cleans and the barbell in a rack position. And so what I'll do is, the only disadvantage, you can see my hand is a little banged up. It finally started to heal up with pull-ups because there's a bit of pinching. But what I'll do is I'll tape it. And so that way, it's holding up really well. I haven't bent it. It's getting a little bit scratched, but no different than a normal, wedding ring. And so I would highly recommend. So I've had Whoop strap. I have the Apple Watch. You can't wear the Apple Watch all day, all night in the shower. Like, I have this on 24/7. I charge it. It only takes maybe like an hour to charge. I charge it once every 6 or 7 days. It tells me when it needs to be charged. I've never had an issue with battery. It's awesome to have. It seems reasonably accurate with your steps, I would guess. Probably not so accurate with that active calorie, but it's all relative, right? So if I get, let's say the calorie thing is off, but if it's should be relatively accurate from a relative perspective, and so from one day to the next. So I would highly recommend it. They have a new ceramic one. Let's see, Ted White says 3 drops of Dawn, 1 quart of water, good for phone and iPad screens. Good advice. Water spot remover. Let's see, Brian says, my water spot remover formed a soapy brown residue underneath the bottle. Any thoughts on how this happens? It probably is seeping through the bottle if it's not fluorinated, or it's probably leaking out the tip somehow. But my guess is it's probably seeping through the bottle. Matthew Popov says, thanks for international shipping. You got an A4500 to Australia. Yeah, we probably shipped to DHL. DHL is amazing. Wish I could ship everything DHL. Probably cost them a lot though. Matrix says, good point here. To achieve things you want, you have to do things you've never done. As they say, if nothing changes, nothing changes. I mean, that's a Theo Vaughn quote, right? Yeah, I 100% agree. And the hard thing for me is to accept that. Especially when you have the world, now you guys, everybody telling me how stupid and wrong I am to try and to go too far, to do things that I haven't done and try things. And, this house is a living example of, I did it until I don't, and then I move on to change to something else. And I guarantee you I'm going to find another house that I want at some point. Maybe it's build my own house, Maybe it's buy a beach house or a lake house or another mountain house. Who knows? That can change from day to day, and I think that's okay. I know it's okay, and that's part of the spice of life and what I really enjoy doing. Alberto says, if I was the owner of that house, I would never sell it. They'd have to bury me in it as if it were an Egyptian pyramid. Now, there's arguments that the pyramids really weren't burial sites, so who knows? Yeah, I'm just not a collector. B-Wall says, the Sapphire Blue GT3 was the mascot for the channel for a time period, but the question comes down to which car do you feel at home in? Well said. Any chance of there being a Mosmatic automatic self-locking quick connect? I don't know. I'm not sure how much I care about that. It's nice for one-handed operation, but at what cost? So, yeah. Brad Hone says, so Bum, we were planning on coming back, and I'm assuming he means 2026. Yeah. Just came. Have you checked local zoning laws to ensure you can put a hotel room in OGHQ? No, it's Florida. It's not really a hotel room. It'll just be a demonstration space. So I'm sure it'll be easy to get around. It's not going to be rented out. It's going to be a place to showcase the BDI bedroom suite. We'll use it for videos and stuff like that. So I don't think it'll be a problem at all. Let's see. Matt, apart from being a douchemobile, I got a Mercedes G550, and I think you'd love one. Like a gentleman's Raptor. Yeah. I'd be inclined to go Lexus. I don't know. The Mercedes stuff just doesn't work for me. Other than the like AMG Black. Also, did you get that exhaust from Ben for the 4RS? I haven't ordered it yet, but I will. I've been trying. I want to get all my projects done. I do this often where I go too far, and then I have too many projects that are lined up, and so I want to be able to enjoy it. I wanted to have a lift as well. It'd be nice to put it at the HQ studio, OG studio, OGHQ studio. So I'm going to get it, but it's the same thing with the Tesla. I've been kind of waiting to. I like that order it, wait for it, it shows up, and do it life. Paul K says I have coarse, fine, and micro compounds and pads. I've yet to use the micro on anything. Do you find a use for micro polishes? Just talking about like a finishing polish. Generally not. Maybe on like an S2000 black paint, like really soft or something, but generally not. Let's see. Slightly off topic, but at your age, why not travel more? I don't like traveling. I travel too much, I think. It's kind of like, lots of people love going to car shows and things. I don't like looking at other people's cars. I don't like going to other people's houses or hotels. I'm not an experience guy. I'm a pursuit of things guy, I guess. Pursuit of projects guy. And so I don't like the uncertainty. I don't like the unnecessary risk of travel, if I can help it. I just like to be at home playing with cool stuff. So Stephen Control, I talked about the Aura Ring versus Whoop, so I hope that made sense. Let's see, what gym shoes you are wearing, liking at the moment? Running shoes are Saucony. Crap, which ones were they? Dang. But for the gym, Nike Metcon 10s. And they run a half size small. So I had to go up to size 12 from, I normally wear 11 and a half, but Nike Metcon 10s. They're my favorite. Matt, are you starting the laundry room makeover? I hope to see, I want to see how you like the hanging drying racks, the air dry racks. Yeah, I just approved the final, we're probably 4 weeks out from the cabinets arriving. So we'll be doing it probably December, January, something like that. This one says, now that you're a YouTuber, are you going to sort out the playlists? Are you going to sort out the playlists in the OG channel? They are properly jacked. I just rewatched the first Helen build series. What a transformation. It was top work. Maybe. I probably could use some work on the playlist organization. Gene says, recommendation on cleaning matte black PPF wrapped vehicle. I think I'd probably err on the side of using matte paint care products from Dr. Beasley's. Hit me up if you want. Like, we're not going to carry that anymore. We don't sell any of it, so I'll get you a sweet deal. Hit me up, matt@obsessedgarage.com. We have some stock of the line and get you the whole line at, like, I don't know, 50% off or something like that. So if anybody wants, the matte car care stuff, hit me up. I think that I'm going to drop that from the store. It's just confusing for people, and we don't sell a whole heck of a lot of it. I'd have to buy a matte car in order to really convince myself to sell that. Let's see. I'm always thinking of the alcohol deteriorating the oleophobic coating on Apple screens. I think about that too. Would love to see a C63 Black series on the OG channel. I think that would be cool. Javier says, are you planning on getting a TRD Pro? Yeah, TRD Pro Sequoia. It's supposed to be due mid this month, so we'll see. Yeah, thank you, Invasion HD. It's Saucony Ride 18s are the running shoes at the moment, and I'm loving. My shoe game is getting better. I got my Japan Pros on. So I've kind of narrowed it down to Japan Pros, and they just launched a new color on Drift House. So I just ordered a new, it's a brown and white, which is pretty cool. So it's like a gum rubber brown sole, or no, it's not a gum rubber, it's a brown dyed sole and some brown accents. So I just ordered those, and then they just came out with a new white version of the New Balance 440 V2s. I just ordered those. So yeah, the Japan Pros or Japan S's are awesome. Or the Japan S's, I like the Japan Pros because I think the Japan S's have a little bit narrower. They have that kind of European. I like this square look, or this chunkier look. I bought some of the Asics. I think the Japan S's have like a thinner sole where it kind of graduates or shrinks down toward the toe. I never liked those. I always liked the toe to look like this, where it's I guess linear. I don't know what to say or how to call it. So I have basically narrowed it down to the Air Max 2017s. I wear my Nyjah Houstons. I need to get a pair of the new Nyjahs, Nyjah 4s or whatever. Japan Pros, 440s, and then I just got a bunch of colors of all of them. And then I did inserts, and then I haven't figured out my Superfeet inserts. I got to figure out which one I like the most. A couple of them squeak, so I've got to figure out which version works the best. Let's see. Oh man, you guys are helping me out here. Thanks a lot. Let's see. We talked about the TRD Pro Sequoia. Adamo's Garage says, I'm seeing a lot more products pop up on Obsessed Garage Canada. Shipping is still extremely expensive, so shipping plans for Canada OG, Hex Canada, yeah. We're going to figure that out soon. Shipping costs, transit costs, insane. If you do another destination OG, I'd recommend East Tennessee or West North Carolina near the tail or Cherahalla Highway. It's Cherahalla Skyway. Car guys love to rip up and down those mountain roads. The problem is you can't get there. It's such a long trip. Although you could fly into, is it Chattanooga? is not that far. I think the move is to go up near Asheville. I don't know. I like the roads less traveled as well. And I like the roads of the east, like Pisgah. What is it? I forget what Highway 215 and stuff out on the east side of the mountains. There's like hardly anybody out there. Della Hater says, any opinion on Master Force garage storage solutions? I don't know what that is, but it sounds terrible. Let's see. Master Force garage storage solutions. Oh, is that a Menards product? Yeah, Chinese junk. Yeah, my guess is probably not good. Let's go to Harbor Freight. The problem is these goofs, they copy the Snap-on stuff, which is the worst. Worst toolboxes, worst cabinets. Maybe not the worst, but not great. Let's see here. I did get a new cold plunge, which just arrived, of course, when I'm here. My Renew Therapy. I wanted the new cold plunge, the plunge all in. It's much cleaner looking. So that arrived. I'm sure they'll see that inside the hex. Let's see. Nicholas says, have you considered the Contour or Confidence lines from Dyne Audio versus Perlissons? I have the Contour 30 and they're quite good. Yeah, I have the Contour 60s, or I had them. They stayed with the house with Rusty. The Perlissons are much more dynamic. So very similar. I would prefer the Contours or Confidence for just pure music listening. But the Perlissons are such a great movie and music speaker. And I actually like the Perlisson R series better. I think the Perlisson is a much better overall speaker than the Dyne Audio, as much as I love them. Let's see. Do you think we'll be able to get small MSS cabinet arrays starting sub 5K? Will local pickup be an option to save on shipping? Yeah, it'll be really small. I want to say our starting cabinet array is like 7,800 or something. And local pickup is probably about a year away, maybe a little bit longer. Or you could go to Auburn and get it, and pick it up there if that's not out of the realm for you. But eventually we will have storage of the cabinets in the villages and people will be able to pick them up. Last week about Macintosh receivers, Jason asked, if I'm starting to build my system, should I start with higher end speakers and lower end receiver, or higher end receiver and lower end speakers then upgrade later? I would start with higher end speakers. Just get yourself a Buckeye. Go to buckeyeamps.com. Look at how inexpensive those are. You can get like one of the least expensive Buckeye amps, and you can use any processor, and you're going to get great results. So I would go speakers first, because speakers will never change. They'll last forever. The components, the things that have technology and software, hardware working together, where speakers are just hardware. Speakers aren't changing, receivers are. So spend your money on your speakers, and then you can go and, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between amplifiers. Thoughts on CR Spotlight's integrated bypass version? Sorry. The integrated bypass is nice. I would choose it if you're going to want to bypass it. Let's see. I saw you wash in those Japans. How did they go with the suede? It's fine. It's okay. I haven't driven the 4RS yet. Blue Streak Brian said, have you driven the 4RS yet? I'm assuming no. I just got mine a couple of months ago and already looking to sell it. It's actually annoying how loud it is inside. Nothing like the 3RS. See, I'm pretty sure I'm going to love that noise. When is Microfiber 4.0 package coming out? We're hoping to have it by March of next year. Hey, with 375 parts per million water hardness, that's about the same as mine, is a osmosis system the only efficient way to go? I think water deionizing systems are too weak. Well, a RO system doesn't leave you mineral free, so it's not spot free. And so what you would do is you would do a reverse osmosis system that feeds a tank, because RO systems they don't flow very well. And that tank, you would then feed your DI. And all that would do is it would remove a good percentage of the minerals, and then you would use your DI to polish off or finish off the water. What it would do is then it would help your DI last longer. But if you can only have one, you want DI. So I have about 375 parts per million coming into my house. I've actually bypassed my water softener. We go right into the DI, and I'm able to polish the water, make the water 0 ppm, and I can pass 300 or 400 gallons through half a cubic foot, and we're doing okay. So you want DI, or you want RO into D. What's going on the phone here? I think you need fabric, and the fabric with you need the polyfill. You need the bulk of it. So I'm a GIK guy, but we're in pursuit of finding something better. There are some better companies out there, but I just haven't had much experience with them. A lot of car guys are both guys do a lake house, and you could do a boat garage on the water. The problem is people are going to mess up the boat. Everybody thinks they're obsessed, but when it comes time to own up to it, if I had broken the bolt on a seat post, and this is nitpicking here, I would order another one and have it here the next day, and I'd put it there, and then I would still send me an email and saying, hey, I broke the seat post because I'm an idiot, and I tightened it way too tight. If you broke, it's supposed to be 5 Newton meters, not 5, you have to tighten it 100 Newton meters to break that frickin' bolt. Stupid. Let's see. So I don't know about having a boat. Let's see. How would you deal with lint getting stuck on a windscreen while trying to clean the interior? Been trying waffle towels, but that doesn't seem to work for me. You just have the wrong towels, man. if you have really good towels, it shouldn't be linting that much, especially a good waffle weave. You may need to toss yours. Maybe you dried them too hot or washed them too hot or something, but you just need to get a good towel. If you want to ensure the lint, you can have a pretty good chance with a twist loop towel like the Rag Company FTW. That's a good bet. Let's see. I love Tennessee. I do too. The whole area is pretty much the same. Let's see. Take Charge Garage says, have you thought about branching out into the aviation world with packages for people to clean their small aircrafts, 8-seaters below could be a great avenue to look at. I just don't have any interest, and there's only so much room. So I don't want to do things. Again, I don't have a lot of discipline. And so that would require discipline, and I'd have to branch out into something that doesn't interest me. I can't drive a car, so I certainly couldn't fly a plane. So that, to answer your question. What happened to black buckets? That's a good question. I was just demanding that of the team. I want blue buckets, black buckets, gray buckets, and I want a bunch of different versions with different gamma seals coming soon, hopefully very soon. When are you going to do the OG Canada destination house? Alberta would be perfect. Who knows? I'm going to have $1.5 million burning in my pocket, so we'll see. Yeah. What's the Canadian dollar versus the U.S. right now? Hey Matt, what is your most hated part of washing cars? I personally hate cleaning windows and wheels. I just feel like I never get them perfectly clean. Any recommendations? I hate interiors because you got to climb around in there and get sweaty and it's just not comfortable. But I actually really like doing glass. The key to glass is lots of product, lots of speed, motion, elbow grease, lots of force. So you want to use, and traceless is helpful, invisible glass traceless. So get Built Hamber traceless. Get the blue waffle weave towels from my store. Get the invisible glass, that reach and clean tool. Soak the thing down, which is going to get stuff everywhere. Then you have to wipe off your door panels first. But soak the glass down, spray directly on the glass, and then go after it. Freaking wipe crazy, and then use the freaking reach and clean to get all the edges. And if you do that, I promise your glass is going to be dialed. Morgan says, sold my Karcher pressure washer to my dad, decided to sell my brand new Active 2.0 and reinvest money towards a new AR630. Sounds like there will be somewhat more flow versus the Active plus quieter. Yeah, quite a bit more flow, like 2/10 or so, 2 or 3/10 more flow. You need 20 amps for sure. It is much quieter, much better built. We have a video coming up on the OG channel where we tear apart the Krenzla and the old AR630, which is the same design, but fully rebuildable, will last forever. It's a good move. And you want, if you can swing it, you want the new nickel-plated TSS hot. We don't need the hot capability, we want the nickel-plated head. So you want that guy. Let me show it to you. It might, when we tore down the Krenzla, you see how much better engineered the Krenzla is, even though it's an inferior design, because of the radial axial pump. But the you'll see in a video on the OG channel coming up here soon. But a lot of the Italian jank. So we're putting this in HQ, 2 of these puppies. But take off all the badges, it's black. Look at that nickel-plated head. We do have a nickel-plated inlet hose piece coming as well. It's pretty freaking sweet, man. It's quieter than the Krenzla, has more flow than the Krenzla. I don't know, man. Krenzla better step it up. Or not. Let's see. I'll bring the X7 over this weekend so we can do a wash and talk. Yeah, come on over. You can wash it. I'll do the talk. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, I would still do DI, even with the TDS 2020. It'll last forever. You'll have the cleanest, most amazing water. Let's see. Thoughts on the ShineMate EB212's Merca style machine? I see Bradley at ADS uses the ShineMate machines. It's janky. And it's a frickin' IP theft ripoff. So I'm not doing that. May not be able to fly, but OG Vision Jet has a ring to it. yeah, I like that. Somebody else fly for me in my private jet. My CR spotless gauge used to read 0, now it's reading 7. At what point do you recommend changing the resin canisters? I change them at 20, a TDS of 20. If you or if you can still be spot free sub 20. You may end up with some spots at 40 or 50, but I'd probably run it to 50. But yeah, as soon as it reads 1, you should change it. I just don't know how accurate the CR gauge is. Matt, what leather cleaner are you going to choose now that Color Lock was bought by Coach Kemi? I was just talking to Coach Kemi about this. They don't really have a plan, and they don't have any product. It's gone. Can't get it. But Later Max is coming, and it's freaking awesome. How are things going at the warehouse? Any warehouse operations vids coming? Probably. Probably inside the hex. Mark Springhetti is our new operations COO, chief chief operations officer, or ops guy. We're in the software and purchasing side. It would be a good video to dig into. So maybe I'll do that soon. It's a good idea. But whole series starting in the next couple of weeks on the OGHQ studio in the back, the garage. Matt, I've heard you speak about Levi's jeans. Those models were regular tapered, slim, straight, and slim boot cut. What's your preferred style of jeans? I like slim, straight, and then no slop in the gooch, not tight. That's why I have mine fitted. That's why I buy the Blue Delta jeans that are, built to my spec. Hey Matt, I'm going to polish my GMC Sierra HD to prepare for coating. Given its size, what's your recommendation for a single-step process? I mean, if you did perfect finish, it's not going to correct enough. If you do, depending on the color of it, if you do Griot's fast correcting cream, man, I just have such a tough time with a single step. I'd probably do fast correcting cream on a microfiber pad and just make sure to do 4 to 5 passes. Avram says, where are you based out of? Right now, I'm in Helen, but the Village is Florida. So Central Florida, just north of Orlando, south of Ocala in Central Florida. Matt, 16 versus 14-inch MacBook Pro. Checked them out at Best Buy recently and surprised how small they are aside from the 16-inch. Yeah, I need 16. I'm on a 16 right now. I don't like the little one. Any updates on if we'll be able to buy the black DI shelf system you're currently designing? So it's called the Obsessed Garage Wash Station. We're going to have some prototype testers. I'll put that out soon. We're looking to have those in December with a launch in March is the plan. How good are your Villanova Wildcats going to be this year? Probably terrible. Looking forward to Big East basketball, but certainly Ryan and I are going to go to a game. So I want to go to a game on campus at the Pavilion. Current dream 5-car garage from Nicholas. It's funny, I just looked at this the other day when I was thinking about selling all my cars, and I thought 458 Speciales were 700. Now they're 900,000. They were 400, 300 just pre-COVID. Man. 458 Speciale, 991.1 GT3 RS, 991.1 GT3 or 911R. I think the GT4 RS and my E92 M3. That's the 5. And then can I throw in a 6th is a 2014 Carrera GTS? But actually, no. If I had that much money, I'd drive a 911R every day. Or maybe an ST. Yeah, Cars and Culture is tomorrow. I won't be there, but my cars will be there in my stead. So the GT3 and the M3 will be there, uncovered for, I don't know if anybody cares about it, but they'll be there. So come to Cars and Culture tomorrow from 10 to 2 or something like that. Go to Instagram, look at the invite. Okay, let's see. Rabid Cheetah says, do you coat your windshield and rear windows with anything to get the same beating as a ceramic coating? Yeah. So all of the side glass and rear glass I coat, and the side mirrors I coat with Crystal Serum Light and XOV5, just like I do the paint. And the windshield I do Wolf's Nano Glass Sealant. Brad says 16-inch MacBook Pro for sure. I agree. Andrew Oster says, what's the one thing you thought was dumb in the garage until you finally saw it and changed your mind? Well, quick jacks, I think, are dumb, but I changed my mind on that. Certainly hex lights haven't changed my mind. Slat wall, that's a good one. Used to really hate slat wall, but it's pretty clean. Invasion HD, if the buyer of the house decides to sell the house down the road in the future, would you be open to purchasing it back? We talked about that. I'm sure he'd call me first. I've never done that with a car or anything, so I probably wouldn't want it. But if I had, a lot more money, I'd go to Highlands and I'd build a house. .1 RS or .2 RS, or 991.1, 991.2 RS, if you had to have one, I'm picking the .1 RS. It's more raw. I like the suspension better on the street. I think it looks a lot better. You have paint to sample options. But the .2 RS is a better engine, better PDK programming. It's the better car in every measurable way, but I like the .1 better for its flaws. Thoughts on the Washer Pro 220, whatever, big boy, it's junk, don't buy it. When you first started talking about specialities, they were 400 grand, I know. Like 300, 350 for one with 5,000 miles. I freaking should have bought one. I also should have bought I didn't have that much money then, though. Invasion HD, Matt, how would you recommend removing water spots from 20-plus-year-old vehicle on glass? Get review. Put it on a microfiber cutting pad, and it should take care of it. John Byrne says, Villanova can be primary, but if you adopted Florida as a secondary? I don't mind watching Florida. Yeah, I guess. What would be my if I had a secondary? My secondary would probably be Penn State in football anyway. I'm just a fan in general. Like, I like watching Notre Dame. I like watching Penn State. I like watching Ohio State. I don't like watching Miami. I don't like watching Florida State. I do like watching Florida. I just hated Florida State. I went to Florida State twice for a volleyball tournament when I was when I was in my mid-20s. I was getting my CFP, and I kind of played on the UCF club team for a little bit, and we went and played in a couple tournaments there. It's just the school is just, I don't like it. Uh-oh, mosquitoes are starting to come out. I'm going to have to shut this down. We're excited. I'm going to Molly's tonight, though. We're going to Molly's. Let's see. Matt, is there one car you regret selling or miss? Not really. The car I would like to have back that I miss the most would be the .1 Carrera S. But I would want it with carbon ceramics. Courtney says, what's your favorite JDM car? It's a good question. I think it's probably the, DC2 Type R? Yeah. So whatever that is, the 2001 Type R. Tegra Type R. If you can't drive vehicles, why not sell most of them? Just keep a couple and be done. Easier said than done when your life is built around it and you have hopes that you're going to be able to drive again, and then you'll be sad when you can't replicate the cars that you have. That's the struggle. What patio furniture are you sitting on? It's from Palm Casual. Let's see. Gabe and Josh, how is OG going? They can answer that. They're here. Have you considered a 430 Stradale? It's the 430 is just a little bit too old for me. Too melty. Let's kind of finish up here. Just saw a day one video about the next house. Ever thought about one of the houses with track access? I have thought about those in the past. Maybe. That could be something interesting to me. The problem is most of those douchey tracks, you can't just go whenever you want and drive on the track. I want to go and walk out my door and drive on the track whenever I want. Other than maybe a few events. But they have like days that you can go. Like, that's freaking stupid. Buy a $2 million house and you can't even go there. And you can't have friends go and use it. It's stupid. That one in Tampa, the Enclave, is the dumbest concept I've ever heard of. Sell them all and buy a 2026 911 Carrera GTS. No, the new Carreras are blech. I don't like how they sound. I don't like how they look. I don't like what they cost. I don't like it. I want a 2015 or 16. That foot pedal tire lift is pretty janky. No, it's not. It works great. Give me a better solution. Let's see. Can you recommend a better exhaust for a 2020 Porsche Carrera S? Get the AWE switch path. Thank me later. What's the next timepiece on your wish list? When I sell this house, I want to get the Cookie Monster. So I want the stainless steel with the blue, bezel, black dial. That's what I want. Not a great investment. Anyway, thanks everyone for hanging out. Yeah. Mosquitoes usually don't mess with me too badly, but I can see them fluttering around here. It's not going to be good, so I'm going to get out of here. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support on the Helen house. Thanks for talking me into throwing that thing over the side. I'm going to go to Molly's, get some good Southern cooking, try to stay meat heavy. That'll be my cheat. But anyway, stay tuned for the blog. Go become a member inside the Hex. And I'll be doing some behind the scenes talking about, the money of Helen and all that. And yeah, thanks for being here. We'll see you soon.